Welcome to Smart News. Brazilian investment secure jobs in the steel industry. The Thüringen Steelworks electric arc furnace melts steel at temperatures of more than 1,600 degrees Celsius. The modern plant is one of the largest in eastern Germany. Brazilian steelmaker CSN recently bought up the plant. This plant produces profiles. The production technique is a little different than the Brazilian one. We have different equipment, and the workers here are trained differently. CSN has put some 500 million euros into the Thüringen Steelworks. The takeover saved 670 jobs here. The Thüringen plant turns out up to 1 million tons of steel profiles a year for factory buildings and oil rigs.
German-Brazilian Business Conference, Opportunities Despite Economic Downturn. Business leaders meeting at this year's conference in Frankfurt agreed that trade relations between Germany and Brazil are set to strengthen, even though economic growth in Brazil is slowing down. Brazilians are worried about the impact of the Eurozone crisis on their exports, while Germany is critical of Brazil's protectionist policies.
In our view, Brazil has pursued a policy of closing its markets to imports over the past 2 or 3 years. The Brazilians see things differently, of course, but that's a natural reaction.
Last year, Germany sold more than 11 billion euros worth of goods to Brazil, mostly machinery and auto-related products. Brazil exported the same value of goods to Germany, creating a balance of trade between the two countries. German construction firms have long been active in Brazil. Now more and more German media and IT companies are taking an interest in the country.
Those sectors where Germany is already strong, such as the chemical, automobile, and mechanical engineering sectors, will continue to grow. But the project-driven sectors like infrastructure and construction are more problematic. And that's where German companies should be taking a closer look to see how they can remain active in the country in the long run.
In addition to exports, German companies currently stand to make good money within the country as well. The Brazilian government is planning to invest billions in expanding the country's infrastructure.
World focused on wind energy. 500 experts and company representatives from around the world came to this year's Wind Energy Conference to see the latest innovations in renewable energy made in Germany, like this 80-meter tower. Elsewhere, researchers at the renowned Jülich Research Institute are looking for ways to store excess electricity generated by wind power. The conference was organized by the German and International Wind Energy Associations.
Major competitors at Airshow. The rivalry between Airbus and Boeing was on display at Britain's Farnborough International Airshow. Airbus scored points with its economical A350, and CEO Fabrice Breguet expressed plenty of optimism. The European aircraft maker went home with some 14 billion euros in orders, while its U.S. rival Boeing took home orders worth more than 30 billion.
German companies host Africans. Junior managers from Africa are learning firsthand how Germany's top corporations operate. Participants are invited to spend time at German firms where they gain insights into the latest management techniques. Firms like Siemens, SAP, Bosch, Volkswagen, and BASF are taking part in the project, which is helping farmers in Africa.
420 million tons. That's the amount of CO2 emissions Europe wants to cut by 2030. The European Commission says greater fuel efficiency will create more innovation and improve competitiveness for the European automobile industry. But German car makers fear the new measures may put them at a disadvantage. On average, European car makers will have to reduce their emissions by some 25%.
Dresden Semiconductor Manufacturer, a market leader. Global Foundries is set to expand production by a third, making it the world's #1 microchip producer. Company owners in Abu Dhabi consider the German plant their flagship. A special kind of light is used in the factory's clean room where white light would damage the tiny chips. 3,400 workers produce silicon wafers, each one containing hundreds of microchips. In a high-wage country like Germany, a factory like this is worth it only because of the country's highly qualified workforce.
The cost of the workforce is a small portion of the overall cost. Being able to have the skill level is really one of the biggest challenges we have in terms of putting a facility like this together. It gives a place like Germany really a competitive advantage on the international marketplace.
Global Foundries has been operating in Dresden for the past 3 years. Thank you for watching this month's Smart News.